Okay. Likutei Moharan, Torah Vav. We're starting Siman Hey. So after we explained already in Siman Beis that the essence of tshuva is for a person to hear his derision and bizoyan and to keep quiet. So this, for which he is zoicha to a heavenly, to a divine honor, koved Elokim. Now we're going to explain another bechina, another aspect that takes place when a person hears his derision and he remains quiet. Val yidei admima vashtiko, through the action of being quiet and keeping mum when a person is being, disrespected, naso pchinos chirik, he enters a state of chirik. Chirik is one of the vowels that when they're put under it's an emergency.
It's not.
So I ask, which natan?
Natan Chaim. Yeah, we're in the middle of learning.
This brings about the it brings about the state of chirik. If you remember, we said when a person does an aveirus, he enters a state of a reverse eke. Remember, that's the formula that what a person is, like saying somebody is it said the tikkunim. And it says in the Tikkun Zohar on the pasuk v'tachat raglov k'ma'aseh livnas asapir dachirik. When after Matan Torah, the elders of Am Yisrael, they came up to Har Sinai and they saw Hashem. They saw Shechina, and underneath it says, and underneath Kaviyachol, the legs of the Shechina, it says they saw like a vision of a brick of sapphire. Now, in English, things can be translated only one way. Sapphire is one thing, brick is another. Livnas is the nismach of levena. Levena is a brick. Livnas asapim means the brick of sapphire, a sapphire brick. However, livnas also mishon lavan. In Lashon Kodesh, it has many different meanings. Livness also means the whiteness. Sapir also is a verb of illumination. Something which is sapir, this is something which is illuminated, something which is light. So why does, but nevertheless, the word livness, mishon levein, mishon brick, also has what to do with the pshat of what's going on. The Hebrew word has a multitude of facets, all of which are descriptive of what the Torah is saying. In English, a brick is a brick, sapphire is a sapphire, finished. So the Tikkun Zohar says, "V'tachas raglov k'ma'aseh livnas asapir." Underneath the Shechina, you see like a brick of sapphire. the Tikkun Ezra says da chirik. That is the vowel of chirik, which is just a little dot, right? Which brings the sounds e, right? That's the chirik. It says Pchinas livnus asapir. The sapphire brick is the aspect of chirik. Because livnus asapir is the sphere of the malchus. Remember, the wisdom is the sun, as we learned Torah Aleph, right? The malchus is the lavana, right? Livnus asapir, guess from what shores it comes? Lavana, right? Move. This is Pchinas of the malchus, which is the last of the sphere. And it's called Tachas Raglov, underneath its feet, underneath its legs, because the malchus is the lowest of all the spheres, which is under the spheres Netzach and Hod. Because Netzach and Hod are, Kivyochel, the reglaim of the supernal stature. This is what it says in Yeshayahu, Shamayim Kisi va'az adom raglai. The heavens are the throne, my throne where I sit. Va'aretz adom raglai, and the earth is the resting place of my legs. Now, obviously we're dealing here with very, very abstract mishalim. This whole union of kisei HaKovod, the throne of Kodesh Baruch Hu, what does it mean, the throne of Kodesh Baruch Hu? Why does Kodesh Baruch Hu need a throne? Because it has no body, what does he need to sit down? But the thing is that the kisei, what happens when the king sits in a chair? He lowers himself down. Mm-hmm. Now he's lower. When he's standing up, he's higher. When he sits down, he's lower. The eon of kisei is a mashal for Kodesh Baruch Hu bending down and paying attention to the Bria. Kodesh Baruch Hu is way beyond. In order to interact with us, he has to bring himself down. Right? This, euphemistically, is called sitting. That's why we say Rosh Hashanah, Kodesh Baruch Hu sits on Kisa Mishpat. In other words, he lowers himself to interact with us. That's why we say that Kodesh Baruch Hu gets up from Kisa Mishpat and sits on Kisa Rachamim. What does it mean? He lowered himself to deal with the creation with B'chinas Mishpat, and we did something that he elevates himself again and he sits down and lowers himself again once more time, this time to deal with us with Rachamim. Sitting down by HaKadosh Baruch Hu means that he is bending down, he's lowering himself, Kivyochel, to deal with us. Very much like a father that has to deal with a small son. So what do you do when you want to play with your baby? You put yourself on the ground, right? You go and you lower yourself down. Right? When you want Nathan, you want your son, you want to talk to him, like eye to eye, what do? You sit down, you calm him over, then you can see him eye to eye, because when you're standing here on top and he's down, right? So the idea of dealing with somebody who's lower than you takes lowering yourself down. Also, that is also the meaning when it says Baruch Ata Hashem. We say two things. We say Baruch u'Mevayrach, blessed and benedicted. That somebody else blesses him. What's the difference between Baruch and Mevayrach? Baruch means something that Kodesh Baruch Hu, because it talks about an intrinsic quality of Kodesh Baruch Hu. Mevayrach means something that is affected from without. Kodesh Baruch Hu is, I'll explain, don't worry, I'm not going to leave you like this in the dark. When we say Kodesh Baruch Hu, Baruch Ata Hashem, Baruch is the same thing as sitting down on a chair. Baruch means that Kodesh Baruch Hu lowering himself down in order to bestow good on us. Baruch is the aspect of Kadosh Baruch Hu, when Kadosh Baruch Hu lowers and He deals with us and He gives us. That's why we also, Baruch is the same root as Berech, which is knee. What is the knee used for? To lower yourself down, right? To bend down. Berech is a knee.
Oh. Makes sense.
It brings you down. When we say Baruch Ata Hashem, it means that Hashem who has lowered Himself, is lowering Himself in order to interact with us and give us. Mevarech is when this affected, when what He gives us is affected through our prayers. That we bless Him and we pray to Him and He gives us. Baruch Ata Hashem, and when Hashem gives, because Hashem gives, that's nothing to do what we do or we don't do. Mevarech is when He gives us because we ask for it. That's why I said Baruch is Hashem Kiviyachol Himself. Mevarech is from us. We bless Him. Again, we're talking about Hashem's giving us, Hashem coming down and giving to us. But this is something which comes about through our prayers. He is Mevarech. Mevarech means that somebody else blesses you, right? You are Mevarech, which means somebody else blesses you. All this is the meaning of the Kisa. Shamayim Mechon Kisi. The Shamayim are the dwelling of my throne, of my chair. Which means this is the tools Kaviyal Kadosh Baruch Hu lowers Himself down in order to interact with us. Because the Kadosh Baruch Hu Himself is and the land is the support of my legs. The land is now what does it say? The word Hadom in English literally it means a hassock. You know that thing that you have in a chair that you put your legs on, it's called a hassock, right? Or is it called?
Ottoman.
Ottoman, that's right. An ottoman. Then you put your legs on the land is the ottoman of my feet. Now the Hebrew word for ottoman is Hadom. That's Hadom, yes. But nevertheless, there's an illusion. Haaretz Hadom. Why dafka this word Hadom? Why dafka that? Why not Aras Mishenes, the rest of it? Why Hadom? Because the word Hadom is Meramas of Dmima, which is dam, right? To turn dam to dom. When you're being quiet and somebody, this is Dmima and Shtika. Hadom is Melishon dam, dom. That through the dom, through the Hadom, through the keeping quiet and not saying anything, a person is Zoiche to B'chinas Hadam Raglai, the rest of my feet, which means the spheres of Malchus, which is under the legs of Kodesh Baruch Hu. And all this, when you manage to do this, when you manage to make yourself the spheres of Malchus, Kodesh Baruch Hu, by being quiet, all this constitutes the Nekuda Tachtoina Shel Tmonas Aleph, the left leg of the Aleph. There's a dot, there's a little yud, right? Aleph is on the top and is on the bottom. The left leg has a little dot, right? On the bottom. That dot is Chirik, is Malchus. Because the very letter Aleph symbolizes all the 10 spheres.
The smaller of the Aleph?
Yes. In Aleph, the little dot on top, you have a little dot on top, a yud on top, you have a yud on the bottom, and you have like a vav, a stick in the middle. This is the picture of the letter Aleph. The letter Aleph itself symbolizes all the 10 sephiros. The top Nekuda, as we'll learn weiter, represents what we called the Gimel Rishonos. That's the intellect. That's Chochmah Bina Das, or Kesach Chochmah Bina. That's the top dot. The Vav represents the 6 spheres from the Vav Ktsovos, the Zeir Anpin, from Chesed to Yesod. There are 6 spheres. Chesed, Gvur, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, Yesod. These are the six spheres. The bottom, the Kuda, is the Malchus. What it means to tell you, the Aleph also tells you what are the dynamics that from the top, which is the 3 Rishonos, from the intellect, the Shefa comes through the Vav, the 6 spheres, which is projected onto the Malchus. It's connected to the Vav, and it's coming from the Vav to this one. So when you are Mekayim, you're keeping quiet, when you hear your bizarre and you don't say anything, you're zoche to embody in the Pchina Chirig. Pchina is that the lower Nekuda, the Malchus Hashem. That's why you get the heavenly covered, your divine covered. Because you will become the embodiment of the lower Nekuda of the Aleph. So this is said that when a person, this is the lower Nekuda of the form of the letter Aleph. The left leg of the Aleph, as we said, which is Chirik, which is Malchus. When a person keeps quiet, when he's being embarrassed, he rectifies and completes the Bechinas in the supernal words, which is called Chirik, which is the Malchus. And the lower leg, the lower leg of the Tmuna of Aleph. Now, we're dealing here with extremely sophisticated and abstract inyonim. We don't know what these inyonim are. We can only tell what the Rebbe is telling us. And sort of like the only thing that we're trying to do, going over these inyonim, explaining them the way we do, is just to make us comfortable with these terminologies. But what does it really mean that you become chirik? And where is this chirik? And what is this chirik? And what is the malchus? All these things we don't know. We just know that when you're keeping quiet, when you're around the covet, you become a chirik, and you're masakam b'chinas malchus. That's the only thing we know. But when we keep on talking about it, and we keep on explaining this, and we keep on opening up a little bit, the only thing it does for us, well, it's not the only thing it does for us, but it makes us comfortable. Because otherwise we read and go like, what? I don't understand this. It's so outside of my reality. I don't know what it... So if you feel, I don't understand it, nobody understands it. The only thing you can do, even a few people that think they understand, they also don't understand. When they're sure that they understand, they don't understand. The only thing they are is they're comfortable with that language, with that lingo, with that this is calling this, is calling that, is calling this, is calling that. When you repeat it and you explain it back and forth, you become comfortable with, okay, this is what I know that is being taken place. What it actually means, we have absolutely no idea. But the knowledge of that alone, that this connected, opens up in your neshama, gives a tikkun in our neshama, and brings us to where we need to be brought. It's like, I don't know what a doctor does when he checks things out, when he gives you medicine. I don't know what it does. I don't care. I go and get a thing on it does, period. Same thing is over here. But afterwards, that when you take Likutei Tfilis and you daven the Tfilah of Terevav, and which I hope you will, and I hope I will, and you keep on getting at it, and you repeat this Torah, at the end you feel, yeah, of course, you do. You become a Eric. You go, oh, well, okay, I got it. Okay, Baruch Hashem. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. But there's a certain kind of timidity, like, I don't know what's going on here. Whoa, man. To get this out of the way. You are not further away from understanding this than I am, or Reb Simcha is, or Yaakov Ben Shechter is. And he's like probably the greatest Makubal of his generation. He knows more things about this. Many, many more things about it. But understanding the essence of it, only Rabbeinu understands this. Rabbeinu understands this. Doesn't understand whatever it is, he understood a little bit. We just have to get, okay, we understand. I know what it says. I can repeat it. I can explain it the way it was explained to me. But that's it. What it is be'etzim, we have no clue. You want to please to press elbow.